morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. This is Brunch Boxing. I'm your host, Matt, and I am here with the voice of Brunch Boxing, the master of the walk and talk, the master of the sit and spit, the John Madden of boxing himself. Let's go Rams, EzRaw Boxing. What's going on, Ezra?
Right there on the back, right there on the chest. That's what this week is. Because I'm ready to run through a wall.
You got dick on your back? What does that say on your back?
Come on, man. Come on. Pronounce the guy's name correctly. Now, I'm ready to run through a wall. So are the Rams. Like that's what I'm telling you. I just there's an energy that I can't contain, and it's gonna come out in this show. There's an energy I can't contain because I know the game's tomorrow, but I feel like it's today. I'm not taking this jersey off. I'm not taking this jersey off. I'm sleeping in this jersey.
When I was watching that new Sydney Sweeney movie, Housemaid, I had an energy I couldn't contain either. Got it all over the couch.
Let's move on. Let's keep the show rolling.
Oh man! All right, we want to get straight into the start of the Zuffa boxing era here for today. Ezra,
yeah, we got a lot to talk about today, man.
We do. Let's get right into the show. We had a big night of boxing last night. I guess eventful. We got a big night of boxing tonight. So, like I said, last night we had the start of Zuffa boxing. We have the Callum Walsh defeating Carlos Ocampo. Ezra, I know you saw this card from start to finish. What were your thoughts on the whole card, the broadcast, the production, the quality of the fights? Tell us what you thought of their first event.
I'm going to say this right now just to start this off. I have a lot to say. Okay, I'm going to say it right now. It's a fair warning. I have a lot to say. Now, I don't think people are going to be happy with me after what I say, what I'm going to say. I don't think so. I don't think Matt's going to be happy with me. I don't think, you know what? Huey might be a little happy with me. Honestly, you know what, Matt? I think Huey has a soft spot for Zuffa boxing. Maybe a little bit, right? But I don't think people are going to be happy with what I have to say.
Wait. Hold on. Is negative Nancy Ezra back?
No, positive Ezra's back. Positive Ezra never left.
He's about to speak very glowingly. He's about to speak very glowingly of Zuffa boxing. I can tell.
The problem is that when you ask for positive Ezra, people are not assuming what I'm going to be positive about. People are going to be asking for negative Ezra back after right now what I just say. But I'm going to tell you what I saw last night. Last night, what I saw. It was, of course, A sides versus B sides. But the B sides didn't look like they weren't meant to be there. The B sides didn't look like they were just there to get beat up and collect a check. The B sides looked like they still believed in their career in there when they got in the ring. Now, the thing with boxing is it's such a great product. It just needs a system in place for it to do its thing. The promoters, honestly, right now, I don't think Dana White's that great of a promoter. Honestly, I don't think he's a great promoter. I think the UFC, there's a whole thing on why that worked, but I don't necessarily think it was Dana White. I just think that he maybe was like the perfect image of it, but I don't think he's a great promoter. But I don't think that we have a lot of great promoters today. I mean, Matt, do you think we have a lot of great promoters today? The major promoters, do we have?
When you say a lot, what number are we looking for?
Anything over 2.
Yes.
We have over 2 great promoters today.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know about that. But here's the thing, right? Boxing is such a good product. It's such a good product. If you could just put it out there to the masses, if you could just put it in there with some structure and make it easy for people to find, it's going to deliver. Now, like I said, I don't want to talk too long, right? But there is a thing with the UFC. When it came around, when it first started, it was all these different styles, and it was like blood sport, and people were curious about that, a real life blood sport. They tuned in. Now, what made it go away, right, was because jiu-jitsu became the conqueror of it all. And the problem is jiu-jitsu is not that fun to watch. So people said, okay, this was cool, and I didn't know it was going to happen, but I was hoping that a guy like Jean-Claude Van Damme would win. I was hoping that a guy like Bruce Lee would win. When it was a boring grappling match, people turned away. It didn't work. Now, they came back after some years, and they said, okay, we're going to get this a little bit more structured. We're going to put some rules to it. And they hit fire with a guy like Chuck Liddell, a guy that was a brawler, right? They hit fire with guys like Quentin Rampage. Hit fire with a guy.
Shamrock.
Yeah, they just hit fire with brawlers. They hit fire with some brawlers. They hit some fire with some guys that could knock a guy out and had tattoos and looked a certain way, and it wasn't a guy that could make it in boxing, but in this sport he was a top guy, right? And and there were predominantly white fighters, so there was a fan base for it. And it was something different, and it was something violent and unexpected, and it worked, right? But then eventually, right, over time, people start figuring out things. They start figuring out the styles that work correctly, and it went back to the base that worked best for it, which was wrestling. And wrestling took over the sport again, right? And the problem is that wrestling isn't that exciting, okay? And then the next problem you have is the best wrestlers that fight in MMA were not American. They came from places like Dagestan, came from places like Russia, Georgia, right? And then you had a bunch of guys that came in, dominated.
Georgia's in America.
No, not that Georgia.
Oh.
And they came in and dominated the sport. But the problem is they really couldn't relate. They don't relate really to our culture. They're not what we would say, oh, well, that's something cool that I want to be like that guy. Or this is something that is within what I'm looking for as for a star. You weren't going to have that. So now you had a style that wasn't necessarily entertaining, and you had guys that weren't star power here. Okay, that's the problem with UFC has right now. The demographic and the guys that are stars are not relatable really to the fans. So they have a limit on star power, and fighting needs star power. With boxing, the format they have works. The structure works, right? But the thing that's going to work for them, and it won't be because of them, it won't be because of their thought process, is because the sport of boxing is a lot of Americans, right? The best fighters are Americans. Black fighters, some of the best fighters. They can't control that. They can't. The thing that is just where the talent pool is going to come from. Mexican fighters. That's where the talent pool is going to come from. So the star power in America, the fighters that come are going to be relatable to the mass public in the U.S. So the stars will come as long as they have a structure and a format that works. I know that the UFC doesn't know what a star is. I know that they're not going to market to the right people because they put Irish kid as the main event because they think, well, that's going to be like our Conor McGregor, right? White guy, Irish guy. He's the main event, and he could be a guy we could build around. Now, anyone that watches boxing knows that Colin Walsh does not have the goods to be a top fighter, right? And maybe you can even say, oh, well, maybe he could be the top fighter in Zuffa, right? And me, I still think that's very questionable. I don't necessarily think that's going to work out. But I know that if they keep just the structure, they keep it consistent, and they keep it in front of people's eyeballs, the stars are going to pop out. The stars are going to be relatable to people, and people are going to continue to watch. What I saw last night, and there was mistakes made. There definitely were mistakes made. But what I saw last night, in every fight that I saw, I didn't see a B-side that didn't look like he had a chance. I did not see that. I did that. They did keep up to their pace. I saw really good production. I thought the production was great last night. And the product was good because boxing's good. Boxing is the superior product. Wrestling and boxing have been around since the Olympic days. Okay, the reason one made it as a thing that everybody watches is because it's so damn entertaining, and that's boxing. Boxing is going to prevail as long as it has people there to watch it. Okay, the other promotions and all that don't really have that. So Zuffa could win on just that, but they also just win on just consistency, putting guys out there, you recognizing them, and then putting them on 3 times a year. And I'm just seeing them over and over again, and making it easy for a fan to just digest it. That just really is. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to follow 1,000 different things. It's just right here. So what I saw last night was a structure that I think can really, really work. And it's not because, oh, Dana White did this and that. It's just because it has structure. It's just because it has structure. When you go into a fight and the A side and the B side are on with the same guy, then it doesn't feel like you need the A side to win. It doesn't feel like they're pushing for the A side to win. It doesn't feel like, oh, well, they're pushing the narrative to here. It doesn't feel like the B guy doesn't have a shot in the fight. That is kind of important. I also didn't feel like, oh, well, they're sending in a guy that's a tow truck driver for the most part of his life. It felt like they were sending in legit fighters. All the guys look like legit athletes. It looked like almost it was like some kind of barrier of entry where the guys that were in there looked like legit fighters. They looked like they were trained. They look, it just didn't look like a guy that just rolled out of bed. You know, the boxing, we have shenanigans like that. It's just what it is. But last night I didn't get a feel for that. Like I said, I think that this can really work right? Now let's see if they get the talent. That's going to be important. The next step will be like, what kind of talent are they going to bring in? The big mistake is that I thought they made was, like I said, they protected Colin Walsh last night. They gave him a journeyman. They should have gave him a young undefeated guy just like him, like how everybody else got in the fight. Everyone else got a guy that was undefeated or only one loss that was still felt like he could do something in the sport. Colin Walsh got a guy that was pretty much out the sport. They brought back in for this fight to be a journeyman. I thought that was a mistake. I thought that left a kind of like a bad note on the night because it was basically doing what they said everybody else was doing. They were protecting a guy. They should have kept him fighting a young guy that thought he had a shot in the fight. But other than that, I'll be honest with you, I like the product. They got to allow the guys to be creative. They got to allow the guys to express themselves. Not everybody wearing the same stuff. I don't know if they'll do that. I think that would definitely help. Star power definitely help people get.
They said they won't do that.
I know. So that the one thing that kind of like puts a damper on, building up a guy and being able to express himself. But I did think they did a good job of kind of explaining each guy's story and getting you to know them right before they walked out in the ring. And one thing my brother said, it was like, you feel like you pick a side. As soon as they walk out, you pick a guy from the story you hear, and you're like, oh, I want that guy to win. As soon as they walk out, you already kind of in with the fight. I'm just gonna say I liked it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I liked it, and I see the structure that can work there because I think boxing's so good. As long as they had that, it could do some good things. You guys go ahead.
I gotta be honest, Ezra. You said a whole lot of nothing.
All right.
I don't even understand what point you're making. What's your overall point?
It has the format and structure and consistency is basically, like I said, it's easy and access for people to watch. It's not, if it's going to be consistent, you're going to have the same guys on the cards. They're going to fight over 3 times a year, 2 times a year, and you don't have to follow 1,000 different storylines. The product of boxing is so good. We know how good the product of boxing is, that this will work. This will be very, very successful. The one issue we know is like the talent-wise, are they going to get all the good guys? But if people are only watching this and they're not watching the other stuff, and this is easy to watch, and like I said, the product is so good, boxing's so good that it's not that hard. You just put good guys versus each other, guys that are competitive against each other, guys that are on the same level against each other, guys that are still think they have a shot in boxing, and they're not, like you said, this guy doesn't know how to lose, right? You put a bunch of guys in there like that don't know, that aren't basically losers at this point, aren't guys that are just opponents at this point. I think you get a good product. Similar, as I seen in the comments they said pro box. I mean, pro box is the same mentality. I'm 100% agree with everyone. Pro box, same thing. That's why you get such good fights on pro box. That's why it's a good product. The only problem is it doesn't have the machine behind it. I admit that it doesn't have the machine behind it. This does have the machine behind it. That's what I'm saying, Matt.
Yeah, to me, all you saw last night was an episode of Friday Night Fights, Pro Box TV, Showbox, The Next Generation. That's all we saw. And there's nothing wrong with that. I enjoyed the night of boxing besides the main event. I thought the main event was ass, but everything else was good. I'm not sure why you felt like we weren't gonna like your take or something. I don't get it.
I feel like people are weary of the Zuffa boxing. I think they're weary of this thing coming in, and for the reasons I do get that, because like I said, I've been negative about Dana White. I've been negative about the people that they're in charge of it. I get it, but you did say, you're right. It was Friday Night Fights. It was Pro Box. It was all those things. But you know what the funny thing is? Those are some of the best cards. What I'm saying is if this is the new business model and they can get the top guys, and this is the way the cards are going to be like, right? Where you're going to get competitive fights and they're not going to be hard to make, and they're just going to kind of go through like their own ranking and just say, hey, this guy's 5 and this guy's first 6 and they're top fighters. Well, then boxing's going to take off, because we've been saying, we know that cards we know that if good guys fight each other consistently and guys, the rankings right next to each other fight each other consistently, it's a very, very good product, right? So this thing has the structure to basically say, hey, this guy's ranked here, they fight each other, let's move on to the next thing. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying this is Friday Night Fights, but if they can get the actual names and they, like I said, they have actual money behind it, because the problem with Friday Night Fights, it only has a limited amount of money. Problem with Boxing After Dark, a little bit amount of money. A problem with Pro Box is still a limited amount of money. If this thing has a massive structure behind it and the money behind it, the production behind it, I mean, it's a different feel, but you're gonna get a better product.
Ezra,
Let's hope so.
your grade
Let's
going
hope
into
so.
this last week was an
With
F.
an F.
What's your post fight? What's your post card grade?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a B. Now, like I said, my grade going into it, because it didn't have names. It didn't have anything that said, oh wow, well, that's something I need to watch, right? But as I was watching it and I was watching the B-sides, I said, hey, these B-sides are not bad. They know what they're doing. They're these fights like this, like there was guys that are 5-0, and he's fighting a guy that I'm like, hey, this guy he's fighting is pretty damn good himself, right? There's another thing too where it's like, there's another question we're going to have as far as development, right? Because this is going to change the way their structure is. Development's going to kind of go out the window a little bit, right? Like your development, if you're 5-0 and you go into there, you're going to have to fight a guy that's like in the top 20 of their ranking, wherever their ranking is, right? Their top 20. And your development's going to be working your way up the ranks from 20 to 1. That's going to be your development. So if you're certain guys or certain styles are not going to have the time to develop like before, you're going to get a thing where it's like either you got it or you kind of don't in boxing. Now, I can see the pros and cons to that, but sometimes I feel like boxing doesn't have a barrier of entry. This might make a barrier of entry into the sport. That's the one thing that I'm seeing.
I think that's a good phrase to use. But one last thing, because you mentioned it was a good night of fights. There was a lot of, you didn't think any of the B-sides, were out of their depth, anything like that. Anyone that stood out to you that you want to look forward to on these future Zuffa cards?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Merriweather looked really good. I thought Troy Nash looked pretty damn good, and they were in tough fights. Like they had to figure stuff out in those fights. Honestly, it reminded me of like watching young guys coming up in like really tough sparring. You're like, damn, like that guy's trying to figure it out right now. That's really what these fights are. And if we're talking about development, right, and if you get consistency, I do think that you could guys need those type of fights at a similar to the equal level of them. And you're gonna kind of wean out a lot of things, but you're also gonna bring guys along. I think that what we have right now in boxing, and maybe Matt would disagree, but I do think it is a little bit. We have a lot of like build a guy out to like 15-0. And I think that sometimes he's facing a lot of cans or facing a lot of guys that they know don't have a shot in there. And I don't think you're necessarily going to get that here, but I think that sometimes we say, oh, that's developing them. But I don't. I think they know. I think that they know they can beat these guys, and nothing is brought out of them in those fights. Right, so we get to 15-0, and then they say, okay, now you're going to face a contender. And I'm like, well, I don't know those first 15 fights. It gave him time. Sure, it gave him time to develop in the gym, but I'm not sure those 15 fights really did anything for him. Last night, I know that Nash got better. Last night, I know Merriweather got better after those fights. And you know what? The opponents, I want to see them again, too, because I thought they were in tough. If you put those opponents versus each other, I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, let's keep it going.
Yeah, good night of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
No, there is an elephant in the room here with Zuffa boxing, and Ezra, I think your phrase there was very good use. Barrier to entry. So we have the Muhammad Ali Revival Act going into Capitol Hill. Are there any thoughts on the session and the amendments that have occurred to the proposal that they're trying to pass? Matt, I'll go to you on this one.
Yeah, let Matt go.
I have no thoughts. No thoughts.
Fantastic.
All right. So we'll just kind of see how that plays out. But as we know, they are trying to institute their own rankings and belt system as well. Until this proposal and Revival Act goes through, then they still have to adhere to the standard procedures of boxing. All right, Ezra, what are your thoughts here?
I'm just going to say this, and we had this discussion yesterday. Like I said, if you follow the show and you follow us on Twitter, we are also in spaces that every day. So there is other talks that happen in between. And I think they're pretty good conversations. You could probably clip and put on the show, and it would be very, very good conversations. I do think, listen, in any business, if you deregulate, people are going to go towards the deregulation. You're not going to put anything and say, hey, there's this set of rules that you've had to follow, but we're going to put another option right here where you could deregulate and not follow those rules, and everyone's going to stay where the regulation is. Okay, I'm just sorry, that's not going to happen. If they allow UBLs in, then UBLs will be the future. They know that. Okay, I don't want to go through the same thing again, but it's just when Dana White says, I'm not really changing boxing. You can still do what you're doing. I'm just going to do the UBO route. He knows because he knows that he needs the UBO route to follow, right? And basically everyone eventually over time will go the UBO route as well. And if boxing, right, the old guard is relying on people's sentimental value to these 4 bouts, the sentimental value of way boxing works today, they're going to be very, very disappointed when a 20-year-old kid does not give a damn about those 4 bouts. They're going to be very, very disappointed when a 20-year-old kid just wants to be on the TV screen that people can actually watch. They'll be very, very disappointed when he just falls in love with the brand and not the history of boxing. Okay, so I'm telling you right now, over time, as soon as UBO passes, boxing will be changed forever. It is not that is.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Why is it not that way in the UK right now?
Because the world of boxing, as far as like U.S. fighters, the highest level, the most the money's made is follows that rule, so they're within that rule now. But they do have their own European champions. They do have their own little thing like that, and they do have a thing that's basically their own structure, right? But they know at the highest level to make the most money and to fight the guys that are also famous, you have to fight within the system that the U.S. goes. The U.S. controls the market. So I know we can say, why does Japan do this? But why does the UK do this? Because the US is the most important market in boxing. Whatever the US does, that's the way everybody else is going to go. But the UK has champions as well. You can go and watch the UK championship and you'd be like, what the hell is this? And they'll have a fan base and those guys will be like, I can't believe this guy's the UK heavyweight champion of the world. And they like those belts. They respect those belts. I'm just telling you, in here, the most important market in boxing, I don't care what anyone says, the most important market in boxing, if this changes, it will change everything. That's just the truth of it. People will go towards deregulation. They will go towards the advantages of being able to control a belt, being able to control rankings, and being able to control contracts. Okay, that's 100%. So when Dana White says, oh, I didn't change anything, they can still do what they want to do, he's saying that with a smirk. Dana White thinks you're an idiot, and he might be right. Okay, that's the truth of it. People, when they say this stuff to you, they think you're a fool, and that's why he says these things, because he doesn't think you'll look into it or you know any better. That once they put this in, everything else is done.
So you're telling me everyone's going to have their own belt?
Pretty soon, eventually. Maybe not immediately, but eventually.
When you say eventually, give me a timetable.
But let me tell you this though.
Give me a timetable.
10 years. Now, and what I'm telling you right now though is,
hold on, Huey. Can you add this to our checklist?
Mark it in. But here's the thing: is that as funny as to say everyone has a belt, but what this does is it allows a brand, right? It allows a brand to make its belt the most valuable. That's the problem, because MMA has a bunch of UBOs. MMA has a bunch of different leagues, but only one belt, because its brand is so well, because it has the following, is the one that means anything. No one cares who the PFL champion is right now. No one cares who the one champion is right now. The UFC champion is the MMA champion. That is it. He is the guy. So when they do the UBO, everyone might have a belt, but everyone might not be around. You might be lesser, much lesser, because the one thing that has all the money in the system in place, like it's like anything else. Netflix was first to streaming. They have all the advantages. They worked out all the things. Everyone else is now chasing Netflix. What Zuffa is going to be the first UBO. Now, I'm not saying that Zuffa is 100% the thing that's going to do it. I'm just saying that structure works, and they have a huge advantage because they're going in being a UBO. Everyone else now would have to build that and would have to make their thing and follow along with that. Like I said, in 10 years, this whole thing, the 4 bouts on that,
you know what's funny? What you're saying is exactly why you're wrong. If you know that Zuffa is going to have all the advantages over other UBOs, why would you follow the UBO system instead of following the system where you can make your money and survive? It doesn't make any sense. Why would you try to create a UBO when you don't have the financial backing of Zuffa, so you're not going to be able to compete with them? Basically, what you're saying is that all these promoters are idiots, and they're going to try to compete with the UBO model with their own UBO and get crushed and gobbled up by the TKO UBO instead of following the system that we have that works for them, where they can make them make their money.
But here's the thing, though, right? Here's the thing: is it working for them right now? Now, look, I don't want. It is. But here's the thing: Top Rank right now does not have a TV deal. Okay. Golden Boy right now, where there's an argument and lawsuits whether they have a TV deal or what's going to happen going forward with them at the zone. A lot of other places are not having consistent shows. They're not having consistent cards. And what's going to happen is these guys are going to go to a place that says, well, hell, the market seems dead everywhere else, right? If a lot of these guys are basing their thing on like, well, Turkey's going to keep funding it, Turkey's going to keep funding it, they're going to go to the thing that says, oh, this is established. Now, the reason why I'm saying,
you're wrong. You're wrong.
Okay, but
a lot of these guys are riding out the Turkey storm. Actually, they're not waiting on Turkey to fund something. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm broke right now, so I had to go to the soup kitchen to get a meal the other day. And as I was standing in line, I looked to the left, I looked to the right, I looked in front, I looked in back of me. I did not see Bob Arum. I did not see Al Heyman. I did not see any of these guys standing in the soup line with me. Okay, so I think they're doing just fine, Ezra. Let's not be all doom and gloom. We're forecasting the apocalypse. You sound like the Y2K scare.
No, I'm not. Not the Y2K scare, but I think that I sound like the guy that was talking about the housing market bubble. Said food. You know what? I told you to use the camera. You know what? My bad. Go back to just an avatar. This was. I will admit this was an error on my part. Okay.
It's brunch boxing. I'm eating turkey bacon with some eggs.
Yeah, I like how this guy
said, for you having turkey bacon instead of
pork bacon. That this guy said he was struggling and he was at the soup kitchen and then he's eating turkey bacon. I know turkey bacon price. It ain't cheap. I'll tell you that right now.
On sale for $4.99.
No, but I'm just saying. All I'm telling you is this model of what it is. It's going to be changed. It's just no doubt about it. But we can say that this is going to last. If people are going to stay doing this, they won't. That's just what I'm telling you. And there's one, the UBO, whatever it is, the Zuffa's allowed in the UBO. They got a whole system back in place of it, and it's going to be. It seems like it's going to be consistent. It seems like the guys are going to be fighting a lot. It seems like the guys are going to be. They're going to be able to kind of build those storylines within themselves. Like I said, it's not really promotion. It's just allowing a structure where the thing can thrive. It's not really promotion. I don't think Dana White's doing a great job. I think Dana White's been asleep at the wheel. He's definitely been asleep at the wheel. The UFC can't even answer the questions correctly. He's definitely his interview after the show last night was not great. He was stumbling. He was forgetting what he was saying. I think that he's definitely not throwing his fastball anymore. And I wasn't even too impressed with his first when he had his fastball right at its peak. But I think that the structure in place, I really just think boxing's so entertaining that if people could just find it, access it, and don't have to think twice about it, and it can just be shown to them, I think it just works.
Yeah, but here's what you're not understanding. Success for TKO and Zuffa Boxing means success for their bottom line in their business.
100%.
It doesn't mean monetary success for the actual fighters. I think that's where the disconnect is going to happen, because boxers, they're not like UFC fighters. They're not cucks. A lot of these UFC fighters are cucks. They're hey, just accept what you give us. In boxing, they want what they feel is owed to them.
I agree.
So I think they're going to struggle with maybe not building stars, but keeping stars. No, because it's going to be a huge. So I think what Zuffa Boxing is ultimately going to become is, if Turkey Al-Sheikh decides to stay in boxing, they're going to become a feeder system to Sella and Riyadh season.
Okay. Listen, I agree with you on the money and all that stuff. But to me, and I was thinking about this, and the basically the landscape of boxing, they are going to struggle to sign a guy like David Benavidez. They will struggle to sign a guy like Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo, guys that have already made money, and they know what kind of money they can make within the system we have of boxing today. Now, me and you both know that it's kind of hard right now to build stars, and me and you both know that we don't necessarily see a lot of stars that are currently like, oh, that's a lock. That guy's going to be a star. He's going to sell tickets. We know that. Now, we also know that the guys are on DAZN. We also know that guys Top Rank doesn't have TV deal. And most of the fights 80% of the sport is on DAZN, right? And a lot of people don't have that app. A lot of people aren't watching that. A lot of people aren't following that. They can't get the guys right now. You're right about that. The guys have made money. They know what it is. But 3 years from now, right? All these other promotions aren't having consistent cards. You can't really build a guy if you can't have a consistent cards every month. You don't have enough cards to get a guy going. So why would that guy sign there when Zuffa says, hey, we'll get you in here and we'll fight you for sure 3 times a year, right?
Well,
for
here's
sure,
the thing, right?
And they haven't made any money. These guys have not made any money,
Yeah, but
right?
here's the
So
thing. Here's the
you're
thing.
gonna tell. But
Hold on, listen to what I'm saying.
But real quick,
They're not going to just have trouble signing the stars.
you're saying keeping.
Listen to what I'm saying. They're not going to just have trouble signing the stars. They're going to have trouble signing potential opponents for the stars, because we've seen guys sit out or not take title shots or not take this, not take that, just on the off chance that they're going to get a fight with Canelo. We've seen guys do that. Boxers just have a different mentality.
I agree with
You
you.
keep talking about activity, activity, activity. So I could fight 4 times a year for $2 million, or I can fight 2 times a year for $2 million or $3 million.
No,
What you think I'm going to do?
I'm with you on that, but that's within the structure we have now. What
Correct.
I'm saying is down the line, if you don't have a system where you could keep building guys like that, you're not going to have you're saying what you're saying for the for the Zuffa is what I'm saying for the other promotions. I'm saying if you can't even get the guys to build them at that point, then how would you go and take them at that point? What structure will you have? That's what I'm telling you about. The structure, the reason why the UBO is going to the UBO, basically a lot of these ones are going to take the UBO model or try to do the UBO model at least, is because they could control their own system, right? They control their own ranking, control their own belts, and then that way they could build guys up within the system they want to do, right? But if you're saying 5 years from now, and the young guys are signing with Zuffa, and they're kind of getting built up through there, and they're getting the notoriety through there, and you're saying, oh, at one point, then when they get to become champs, they're going to sign with someone else. Well, the other someone might not be there. We don't know where Top Rank's going to be.
Who was the last guy that TKO built from the ground up?
No one. That's what I'm saying. But this isn't. But here's the thing, though. This really isn't Turkey, though. This might be the Saudi money. That's not Turkey.
TKO.
I know that, but are you saying like a UFC? Are you saying UFC or
the TKO parent company, Endeavor?
Yeah, I'm
saying they built the
well,
star from the ground up. Let it be. Let's talk about WWE. Let's talk about UFC.
Yeah, but they're new though. Like, how new is this thing?
They're not new with UFC.
But yeah, but I'm saying, but the UFC has guys they're building up. Now, are they household names as far as being you know them? No, but they're within their structure. But I explained
so nobody.
But that's more the product. What I'm telling you in boxing.
No, I'm asking you a direct question. How many guys have they built from the ground up to be stars?
They're too new to say this. They're too new to say this.
In UFC, they're too new?
No, yeah, because to me that hasn't been around long enough. Like, it hasn't been around long enough. I got to see 10 years. We'll see where we're at. I mean, bro, when Dana White owned it, they didn't build a star right away. Like, Chuck Liddell came years after they've already owned it. Chuck Liddell was their first star.
So the answer is 0, correct?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is I'm not.
I'm asking you what track record.
No, they don't. They do not have
a track record.
They don't have
hold on.
Let's go the other way. What track record does Eddie Hearn have in the U.S. as building a star? What track record does Queensberry have in building a star? What right now? Is anyone gonna bet on Top Rank being here?
You're saying in the U.S., Eddie Hearn has built stars before.
In the U.K.,
right? Yeah, okay, because that's their market. That's their main market. In their main market, they have built stars before.
Matt, what I'm telling you is
in Golden Boy's main market, they have built stars before.
Yeah, this is where me and you
Al Heyman's main market,
we're talking
he has built stars before.
We're talking two different things, Matt.
No, we're not. We're talking about building stars in your market. What I'm asking you is, what track record does Endeavor teach it? None, right?
They don't have a track record.
Here's the thing. Here's what we know about their track record so far, okay? Because you and I are both wrestling fans, correct?
Yes.
Would you say the product has been better or worse?
Worse.
It's been worse since they took over, right?
No doubt about it.
Has the UFC product been better or worse since they took over?
Worse, no doubt about it.
Okay. Their track record is that they can take a diamond and turn it into a lump of shit so far.
I'm with you.
Right now, I'm holding a piece of shit in my hand.
Is that what you make?
Doesn't smell good. Doesn't taste good. Okay? That is what TKO has been so far. Now, I hope they can reverse that in boxing, but I don't have any confidence that they can. But the infrastructure that you're talking about is the infrastructure for TKO to make money. You're not talking about an infrastructure to build stars. There's a difference between the company making money and being a successful business. They have a great business model where they can make money hands over fist for their shareholders, but their model has not been conducive to
And this
building
is why
stars.
I started off with the explanation of what happened to the UFC. I'm not, what did I say? And then Hughes heard and everything. I didn't say I put my faith in Dana White. I didn't say I put my faith in TKO as a promoter. I don't think they're good promoters. And the problem with why WWE isn't any good is because you have to write the storylines and build the stars. That's a problem. The creative of that is never going to be good, right? Because they're going to let business get in the way of that always. They're going to let the thing, but that's not what I'm saying here. With boxing, and I made this very clear, they are allowing a structure that boxing, which is a great product, just needs. It will create its own stars because most of the guys that are going to be good in that structure are going to be American. Most of the guys that are going to be good in that kind of structure are going to be Mexican or Black. So they are going to have a fan base that pays attention to it that's in the U.S. I told you.
Here's where you're making a big mistake.
Hold on. And let me tell you one thing that TKO could do. If you want to fix, I'll tell you right now, I can fix UFC tomorrow. You want me to tell you what to do? Stop signing the best fighters in the world as far as fighters from Dagestan and fighters from Georgia and start signing certain styles and fighters from America.
Yeah, but boxing wants to see the best fighters. So
and
here's
they
the
will.
thing. No, here's the thing.
In boxing, you will.
No,
you don't have the problem.
No, listen. Here's the thing, right?
See, here's the thing. The problem is
no.
Let
me tell you the mistake you're making, Ezra.
Top rank, try to push.
Ezra.
Just wait.
No, let me make my point. You filibustered for like 20 minutes. Calm your ass down, dick or son, whatever your name is back there. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. What the mistake that you're making, which I think is the mistake that TKO is going to make, and the mistake that every disruptor has made, they believe that there is a tried and true formula and rhyme and reason as to how guys become big stars in boxing. It just doesn't work that way. Some guys just catch on, like Tank Davis. Why is he a star?
You nailed it, Matt. You nailed it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you're saying it's the structure. It's not about the structure. Well, some people just gravitate towards other guys.
So all you need to do, instead of trying to go find the star, create a funnel system that will discover the star for you. That's what I'm telling you, Matt. I'm not trusting Dana White to promote someone to being a star. I'm not trusting TKO to promote someone to be a star. What I'm saying is they're going to provide a system that a star will just be discovered on its own, right? The best apps in the world are YouTube and TikTok. Why are those the best apps in the world? Because they don't try to make the content. They just create a structure for people that are talented and have charisma, are allowed to create their own content. It just creates a structure for people to enter and
no, it's the best because it's open source, but whatever. And that's what creates stars in boxing, an open source system. You're saying that we're gonna have, first of all, a certain level of fighters going to be coming through. Now, Robert Merriweather, right, the third.
Yes.
20 years old.
I thought he
great talent. Great talent. Future star.
It could be. He has good talent. Like I said, it's going to be tough. The one thing is here. The one thing that's going to be, like I said, it's going to be tough to predict stars. Is if they have to keep fighting guys like at that level and keep moving up, then a lot of guys are gonna fall off because there was guys like I did watch UFC, right? I watched a lot of UFC years back. And there would be guys who would be like, damn, that guy could be something, right? You had like a Roger Huerta. Huey knows what I'm talking about. Roger Huerta was on the cover of a magazine. Roger Huerta was like, damn, if boxing had him, they would have protected him for 10 years. It would have made sense. There was business behind it. It would have made a lot of sense. Roger Huerta didn't end up being anything because he didn't have the ability to be anything. When he got to a certain point, he just wasn't that good. But star power was off. It was insane. The dude looked like an actor. The dude, he had everything. He had everything, but he just didn't have enough ability. So it's hard to say. I don't know if these guys are going to lock in to be stars. But I thought when I saw Merriweather yesterday, I'm very interested in watching him again. I thought I saw a talented guy. Was
this your first time watching him?
That was my first time watching him. I may have seen him before.
On you.
Yeah, but no, I may have seen him before on an undercard, whatever. I'm sure maybe I've seen him on Top Rank card or something, but just didn't remember.
He's been on Top Rank.
That's what I'm saying. I know, but what I'm saying is, and this is even better explained with me. I didn't even remember that I seen him on there. On this, I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
what
but
am I
that's
missing
on
next?
you.
I get you, Matt. What I'm saying is, I get you're blaming me for not being more focused and paying attention. What I'm telling you is the casual fan and people that are watching this are me times 10. Okay, are me times
No.
10. They're not being like, oh, let me follow this guy. We're just gonna fight him to zone next, or maybe I'll see him on Amazon.
No,
That's not what they're trying to do.
I guarantee you, there was not a first of all, there wasn't a casual fan that was watching this last night.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think there were some casuals walking.
I don't think so. Here's the thing,
They
right?
talked about this on ESPN. They talked about this on
matter.
every
It doesn't,
podcast.
bro. Did you know that their press conferences and weigh-ins only did like 1,100
So what I
viewers
don't want to do is I don't
across
want
all
to
platforms?
get in an argument that last night had to be some super success, because what
I'm
I'm not
not
arguing
saying
that.
it had to be. What I'm
That's what I'm
saying is
saying.
that no. What I'm saying is that you're over exaggerating the reach and what we saw last night.
No, I'm not.
I think it was a good start product wise. Now comes the promotion. Now we need to see the promotion. Okay.
And I'm telling you that the promotion, it really, as long as they have the place to put advertisements, as long as they have the place to put commercials, as long as they could get it with other big events, which they could.
TKO will make money, but I'm talking about building stars, Ezra.
But people will pay attention. People will pay attention.
We'll see.
We've spent 40 minutes on this topic. Let's are there any final thoughts before we move on to the next one? I think we got to keep the show moving.
Let's keep it rolling.
All right.
Yeah, I can't wait till next week.
All right, so here we go. This week we saw the first press conference for the Ryan Garcia Mario Barrios fight on February 21st for the WBC welterweight championship. One, did you guys see the bout or the press conferences, and what were your thoughts on the exchanges that occurred?
I love the WBC.
I did see that part. I also saw Ryan Garcia pull 3 T-shirts out of a bag, and each time it was the wrong shirt.
That was hilarious. I was like, why did you make the shirts the same color? Like, how would you know what shirt you were pulling out? It wasn't well thought out.
It was like the clown pulling out the tissue that keeps going.
Yes.
The Ryan Garcia show, man. The circus is back in town.
It is.
I was more curious about Tom Brown and Louis the Cubas, those guys. There was a lot of thank you, Sulla. Thank you, His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh. The takeover is here. That's what I took out of it. The takeover is here, but that is going to be a overarching theme in boxing in 2026. When it comes to what we saw on a micro level with Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios, I see a Garcia that on his surface looks frustrated and cranky and upset with the Joe Goosen thing. You know, maybe that's going to give him extra motivation. But I'm curious to see if Ryan Garcia is going to be fully focused going into this fight. Because I'll be honest with you, if he loses to Mario Barrios, that's it for Ryan Garcia. He can't come back from it. He can't come back from a loss to Mario Barrios. You know, he had the scandal with Haney. He had the loss to Rolly Romero. If he loses this one, it's over. There's going to be no more belief in him, you know, that he can be the star that he was made to be. So it's a very important fight for him. I hope he's focused. I'm not too sure that he's 100% focused, and we'll talk about that very shortly. But that's what I really gleaned from it.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, if this talent, if this thing is going to be anything, this is his last shot to actually be anything. I mean, that's, to me, if you're going to have any faith in this guy could do anything, it has to show up versus that fight. I think that, honestly, mentally, I've seen him in worse spots. So I think he looks all right mentally. Like, he looks, at least he don't look like a mess. I think that, he's got all over the place with his stuff, but he's kind of always been kind of like that, right? So I don't know what to take from that, as far as, like, he just looks like he's not losing his mind, which I've seen him in press conferences look like he's losing his mind. So I think that's a positive sign. Listen, Barrios is a big guy. I keep saying about this fight, I would not be surprised that if Ryan Garcia has to get off the canvas early to win this fight. I wouldn't be surprised if both these guys see the canvas. I think this is an excellent matchup. I think this is a really interesting fight. And I think that if this is the one thing to see, is Ryan ever going to figure this out? Are they ever going to figure out whatever this he has? Can anyone figure out and contain what he is and make him a high-level fighter in the ring? Like I said, I love this matchmaking. I love this fight, and I want to see it. I'm very excited.
Now, reportedly, Ryan Garcia blew off his appearance on the Ring show. This is what I'm being told, that he was supposed to appear on the show. He first was running 3 hours late, and then 3 hours turned into, hey, we can't find him, we can't get him on the show. And that might not seem like a big deal, but when it comes to someone like Ryan Garcia, who has shown concentration issues and discipline issues and things of that nature, is Ryan Garcia back on his bullshit, Ezra?
He could be. I mean, like I said, I don't see it as far as the press conferences, but who the hell knows, right? It could just be though, like he just didn't want to do it. He's the kind of guy like you never know what he's going to want to do or go through with. I do think he's been pretty decent on that show when he does make appearances on that Ring show with Max and them. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, you can't predict with this guy. You don't really know. I think that's a part of the level of excitement. Honestly, you don't know what you're going to get with him.
Now, not on the rundown, but very interesting to me, the WBA junior welterweight matchup between Gary Antoine Russell and Andy Hirioka has been confirmed for this particular event. Is that the fight of the night?
That's a great fight. It's a great fight. It's right there to me with Ryan and Barrios. But I think that's a very, very good fight. I was really disappointed to see that I wasn't going to be on the Jake Paul fight with the Jake Joshua once it got moved and the Tank fight got canceled. But as long as we're getting it, and I think that's a perfect spot for the winner of that fight. I think it'll be Russell, but I think that's a good spot for them. I think that people need to see how talented whoever wins this fight is, and people need to be aware of them.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Even without knowing the rest of the card, this card's an A+ for me.
That's it. You don't need. It doesn't matter what else is on there, and probably some good stuff will probably still be on there. But though, right there, that's all. The price of admission is paid for. It's covered.
What else we got, Huey?
All right. So next up, we have, excuse me, Gervonta Tank Davis reportedly plans to turn himself in to the Miami Garden authorities. Currently, whereabouts still unknown. Matt, do you have any idea where is Tank?
Not in the boxing ring.
Do you have any idea of when we might be able to find Tank on our screens again?
I will go back to the soup kitchen later today. I will look to the left of me. I will look to the right of me. I will look in front, looking back, and I will see if I see Tank. I'm not too sure where he's at. Honestly, I don't really give a shit. I mean, one thing that these boxers need to understand, we only give a shit about you insofar as you get in the boxing ring eventually. So until Tank has a fight scheduled, I think we can move on.
All right. Deontay Wilder. Oh, Ezra,
that covered it.
All right. Deontay Wilder, we covered this in a special edition of the show, is set to return against Derek Chisora in April. What are your thoughts on this matchup? And do you think this ultimately leads to the fight everyone wants to see, at least everyone in our circle of that we speak to on the spaces, Usyk versus Wilder?
Go ahead, Ezra. I'll let you eat on this one.
Well, I just want to make it clear who broke that news, because Brunch Boxing broke that news.
You're not doing the dance. I'm doing the dance.
I don't know. What was that?
When I go like this, you're supposed to go.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
you don't be on TikTok?
I don't be on TikTok. I'm not doing that. That's for sure. I'm not about to be on TikTok doing that.
I had no clue what he was doing.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing either. I don't know what the hell. I don't know. You need to get off of TikTok. If that's what TikTok got you doing, you need to get the hell off of that. But I'll tell you right now, Brunch Boxing broke that news. We broke that news early. Matt broke that news. And it was not an hour. It wasn't a few minutes. It was 2 days before Dan Rafael reported what we already reported. I don't know how you break news that's already broken. And don't tell me, oh, we didn't know you're doing it. BS, right? Because Matt, How much people use our information and talked about it?
Man, ESPN, Yahoo, Boxing Scene Ring, The Sun, The Independent, all over the world, all over the world. Sports Illustrated, just all over the world, man.
So let me tell you something. Everything I need to know for Dan Rafael as a person is the way he handled this situation and try to steal this as if he broke it. Because I'm going to tell you, the day before he broke it, someone asked him about the news that we broke, and he said, "I had heard some rumblings about that." So he had known that it was broken because someone had let him know that, hey, someone's reporting that Wilder and Chisora are fighting. And he answered to it, and then he tried to break it the day after. Okay? So don't give me that nonsense. And Ring trying to go with Dan Rafael breaking it. We see you. We're very aware that Ring knows who we are. We're very aware that Ring knows who Brunch Boxing is.
The guy who runs the Ring social media, Michael Benson, he subscribes to the Brunch Boxing website.
There you go. So we're very aware that they're aware of us. Okay. So listen, we're not trying to do all those things, but we did break that news and we want full credit for it because that's what the right thing to do. Because we do that for anyone else that breaks news. We never try to steal their stuff. We go and give the proper credit to it. It's even if it's people we don't care for. That's the truth of it. So I'm just saying right now. But this fight, I think, is a fantastic fight. And if I'm looking at people's reactions to this fight, they're actually excited. They're relieved. They're saying, I'm more interested in this than I am Wilder versus Usyk. And if Wilder beats Chisora, I'll be more interested in Usyk versus Wilder. I think this is an excellent matchmaking. This is a fun fight. And I think this fight's going to have people at the edge of their seats because they want to see if Chisora comes in the way he comes in, like a battering ram, and he walks in to Wilder's power, what's going to happen? We all want to see what's going to happen. And those two guys in a pre-fight presser is going to be very entertaining. I'm telling you right now. What you think?
Let me ask you a question, Ezra. Who do you have winning that fight, Ezra?
I got Chisora. I'm telling you right now.
Huey, get this son of a bitch off the field, please.
I'm telling you.
Oh, we're putting him in the block party?
Yeah, absolutely.
You blocked. You is dumb as hell. You blocked, man.
You see that? That was you trying to block me, and I hit my Jared Burst on you. Spun, and right there. I can't be blocked. That's what Jared Burst is going to do tomorrow. Now, let me tell you this right now. Wilder in his prime wins that fight. I'm not putting down Wilder. I'm a Wilder guy. I'm a Wilder believer. But the Wilder we have right now, that pressure is going to be too much, man. I don't think he has that in him anymore.
We will see. We will see. You know, it's funny. Couple people was asking, "Oh, who was your source for this?" Deontay Wilder. Hey, listen. It doesn't get more of a source than that. You don't get more of a source than that. Listen, shout out to good brother Deontay Wilder. Shout out to the good brother Tay Jones for always facilitating these things, man. But listen, Wilder's coming back, and he will be the world heavyweight champion by the end of 2026. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Bomb Squad out.
Ezra, this fight is a ways out, so you know what? We will get official predictions for it, but I do want to get it on right now. Early prediction. You pick Chisora, method of victory.
Decision.
Matt, I know you're going Wilder. Stoppage?
The Alabama Slammer, the Slim Reaper, the greatest heavyweight of the last 30 years is back. Wilder KO1.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So next up on the bout, we have this February 22nd bout between Claressa Shields and Franchon Cruz-Dezurn, as we see them, exchanging a little bit more leading into this fight. Matt, what do you think going into this? Does Claressa have some competition for her titles?
I'm wondering if Claressa Shields has finally met her match. Has Claressa Shields bitten off more than she can chew? Franchon Cruz-Dezurn has been champing at the bit to get this fight with Claressa Shields. And I think we are going to get the very best version of Franchon Cruz against Claressa Shields. Now, does that mean that that's enough to beat Claressa Shields? That remains to be seen. But Shields looks rattled. She looks rattled.
Oh, really?
She looks rattled. and Cruz looks as confident as I have ever seen her. So I'm wondering as we get closer to the fight, how is this going to play out? You know, Clarissa Shields has been talking about starting a family. Clarissa Shields has been talking about doing things other than boxing.
As
Is
reported on
she
here on French Boxing.
is she 1 foot out the door?
I,
You know, to me in boxing, you either got to be all in or you got to be all out. Ain't no half stepping in this sport because boxing is a sport that will humble even the greatest of fighters. Is she focused? I hope she is because Franchon Cruz is coming with everything that she's got. And I cannot wait for February 22nd, live from the zone. Uh, I call it the showdown in Motown. Let's go.
I like the name. Yeah, I think look at Carissa Shields has a lot of things going on in her life right now. I think she has it's like you said, it's a point where she's like she's looking at the end. Maybe she's looking at the end of the line and saying, "Hey, this is I've done a lot in the sport, done a lot. I've fought in May, I've done a lot of things, and maybe I see a family, and maybe I see all these things." So you're right. Um, when a fighter has those things, it takes a little bit, right? Just a little bit to be off for things to go south. But I think that Carissa Shields is just so talented compared to all the competition. Then honestly, she's allowed to have those distractions. She's so good that she can have all these distractions, still show up and still win. I don't expect any really problems for Carissa Shields in this fight. Carissa Shields still going to win. She's going to me, win comfortably. And like I said, talent allows for a lot of nonsense. That's why it's the most talented guys in the NFL. The coaches allow them to do a lot of nonsense because they're like, what are you going to do? What am I going to tell them? You know what I mean? Type of thing. That's Chris Shields is. I see a lot. To me, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. She'll still be too good to lose this fight.
All right, we'll see. Only time will tell. What else we got, Huey?
Moving backwards a little bit, question from the listener, just to see if you wanted to address it. Hearing that there may be some confusion about the contract with Trisora and his promoter. Is there anything there about Frank Warren and that bout?
Well, Frank Warren claims that he still has a contract with Derek Chisora. So we'll see if Frank Warren attempts litigation to stop the fight from happening.
All right. Thank you for sharing and clarifying that one there. WBA super middleweight champion Armando Resendez spoke with Chicana Boxing that he will not be fighting Jaime Munguia on February 21st, and instead he'll be returning in May. And who's he going to be fighting then?
First of all, excellent interview that Lily from Chicana Boxing did with Armando Resendez, because we saw that he was penciled in for February 21st against Jaime Munguia. And he said, not so fast, that's not the case. Who is he going to fight? Could it still be Munguia? Not too sure. I'm going to assume that if he's fighting in May, I'm looking at that Benavidez versus Zerto card, which means it's a fluid situation because he could be fighting a PBC guy because he is a PBC guy, or he could be fighting a Golden Boy guy, which would be who? Not Munguia. Munguia is not with Golden Boy anymore. Munguia is with Top Rank. It could be, Beck the Bully. Who knows? I'm very interested. It could be Edgar Berlanga.
Question.
Could be Jamal Charlo. Who knows? Is
there any chance this is like a ring card?
Yes.
There's a chance.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I think as we saw with the situation with Ryan Garcia and Mario Barrios, anything can happen at this point in the sport of boxing. Like I said, 2026, there's going to be an overarching theme of the takeover of Turkey Al-Sheikh happening in boxing. That's going to be the overarching theme. So I'm very curious to see what fights PBC and Louis DeCubas Jr. decides to keep on the Amazon platform, and what fights they decide to sell off to Turkey Al-Sheikh.
Yeah. Like I said, it's funny. We could, if you have like a bingo card for the super middleweight and you wanted to hear every rumored announcement you possibly can from every possible guy in the top 10 of the rankings, we officially heard them all. I've heard Mbili versus Shiraz. I've heard Mbili versus Munguia. I've heard Munguia versus Resendez. I've heard Resendez versus Berlanga. I've heard Shiraz versus Pacheco. I've heard Pacheco versus Munguia. Okay? I've heard them all. Every one of them I have heard. Okay,
So
but there
all
is
you're
one.
telling me is that we need a round robin tournament for 168.
Yes, we do need a round robin tournament, and I know that King Pete would say that Americans don't understand round robin tournaments. Their minds cannot wrap their heads on how a round robin tournament works. But I think that would be a very good idea, Matt. But what I'm mostly saying though is, give me some damn fights now. This is a really fun division. It's it's a very level playing field sort of division. I really don't know who's going to come out on top in this division. But make the damn fights. Stop giving me rumors. Stop just getting the speculation. These guys in the damn ring, and let's figure out who the best is.
But you know what's funny about what you said? You mentioned all these amalgamations of matches, all these mixing and matching. One name you didn't mention, Osley's Iglesias. Nobody wants smoke with the tornado.
It doesn't make any
No.
money. It doesn't make
How
any
much money does Amanda Resendez make?
I don't know, more than that. It doesn't make any money. There's no money
come on.
there.
Hey. Iglesias got a whole country behind him.
I love it. Like I said, Iglesias could be the best guy in the division. Don't get me wrong. He could be the guy that comes out on top. And in a while, we could be like, hey, everybody wants to see him. But right now, no money.
All right.
Mike, can you guys hear Mike? Because I can see Mike.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Mike looks great today. He looks glorious today. I feel bad for him because his team was eliminated last week in the playoffs. It was the first time ever that two teams were eliminated from the same game. The Bills and the Broncos were both eliminated from the playoffs last week. How you doing, Mike?
No introduction for the COO of Brunch Boxing.
I'm doing fine.
Did I lose him?
No, he froze.
Mike,
Did I freeze? Am I okay?
You're back.
You're good now. You're good. I hear you now.
Oh yeah, Ezra, you've been wrong about my team all year. I don't expect you to be right about it. I say stick to boxing. That's your thing.
I just don't want any excuses, Mike, because you said Bo Nix getting hurt didn't matter. Instead of being in there, basically the same thing. So I want to hear excuses, Mike.
Not skipping a beat. Not skipping a beat.
Okay.
Okay.
Good and good. Good and good.
We're not like you guys. One man goes down, your whole team goes down. We already know that.
Oh, is that right? I mean, because I remember us winning a Super Bowl and Odell Beckham going down. And I remember us winning a Super Bowl, Odell Beckham going down.
Bro, he was like your third receiver.
Odell Beckham was our third receiver.
Yes.
No, he was not. What are you guys talking about?
I tell you, this guy does not know
Cooper
football.
Kupp, Bobby Trees, and Odell Beckham.
Bro, Odell Beckham was the clear number two. It was a clear number two on that thing. That's unbelievable. You guys are saying
Shut
this.
the fuck up.
You got him in like week 10.
What is happening right now?
I don't know what's wrong with you, Ezra.
What is happening? Mike, I see you with Starbucks. I inspired that. What was the message they wrote on the side? I'm just curious. They write a message on the cup now. What did they say?
Go Broncos.
It says you matter.
Yeah, you do, Mike. And that's what let me tell you something. You go to a lot of Starbucks, right? You do a lot of Starbucks runs, right? And those messages, you think they're nothing, but I read them every day.
I totally never read one. I totally never read one in my life. I just assumed it was my name or something.
I'm just telling you, no. Let me tell you, Mike.
Here's the thing about me, Ezra, is I love me some me.
Yeah,
I don't need nobody to pump me up.
Hey,
I'm
you
the
know
best thing that happened in this place. That's
you don't have
how
to
I feel every day.
You don't have to explain that theory to me, Mike. I tell you right now, I think there should be only one shot here, and it should just be me on the picture. Other thing of it.
Hey,
and then
judging by the name on the back of Ezra's jersey, he loves getting pumped up.
Oh, he loves that. He loves that. He loves the first four letters.
I will.
Man.
He loves that first four letters on his back.
I will say this: you're at a classy Starbucks, a Starbucks that cares by the message they write in the cup, because some just put like good or great or have a nice day, but then someone put like you're awesome or you're gonna kill it today. It's just fantastic. Let me tell you something. It's just class act. It's one of the best things Starbucks has entered.
Hey, listen, my wife might fuck somebody up if the wrong person puts the wrong message on that cup.
Oh man! All right, what we got next? You,
Mike. Well, before we just brought Mike onto the show. Mike, did you have anything to add on any of the recent topics we spoke about, either the Deontay Wilder, Clarissa Shields, or Amanda Resendez situations before we move on?
Everybody knows this. Why we play stupid, but Wilder is good for boxing. Like he's been great for boxing. How you can root against him is crazy. So, should be a good event. If he makes it to San Francisco, that'd be a great event. But I'm expecting, feel like Wilder's been through some tough times, and tough times make tough people. So I'm expecting to see a knockout by Wilder. The Ryan Garcia thing, Barrios. Listen, I'll be in the building for that, regardless. I got to see that. That's a good fight. Someone's gonna go hit the canvas. So um, I'm always up for, if I know someone's getting knocked out, I'm always up for watching that. And it's even better when you don't know who it's gonna be. So yeah, that's it.
I love it, Mike.
So actually, looks like Ezra's wearing a Chargers jersey.
No, it does not. It looks nothing like a Chargers jersey.
It does.
All right, here.
Even
So
with the old school Ram head here. Look at that. Should have never changed it. Fantastic.
Whose
You know who
jersey
made
that
this?
you wearing, Ezra?
You know who made this?
No, Ezra. Whose
Michelin
jersey
Man?
you wearing?
What?
Whose jersey are you wearing, Ezra?
Dickerson.
What's his first name?
What?
What's his first name?
You think I don't know Dickerson's first name? The
What's
running
his
back,
first
the legendary running back for the Rams. I don't know his first name.
What's his first name, Ezra?
You're not gonna disrespect me
He
like
doesn't
that.
know it.
He doesn't know. He doesn't
You want me to
know.
help you out, my guy?
I know.
He
You don't think I know
doesn't
Dickerson.
Tag,
You guys don't think I know Dickerson.
Tag
Well,
man,
what
tag man.
school did he play for? Wait. What school did he play for? Did he play for SMU?
tag
Did
me
he
in.
play
Who
for SMU?
is he?
Did
Who
he
is
play
he?
for SMU?
What's his name,
Don't-
Ezra?
Don't disrespect me.
Ezra, what's his name?
I don't play these games.
He's been waiting for somebody to put in the chat so he could be like, I know.
I do not play these games. I'm tired of being disrespected. What did they say last week? Oh, you had a fake reaction. Don't piss me off. That's what I'm saying. Oh, he had a fake reaction at the end of the game. What did I have to do? I had to show the whole video to J-Ro. I had to show him a 15-minute video of me walking around my room. I don't like being disrespected. Okay, do not disrespect me.
Are you watching the game by yourself?
Yes, I'm not gonna watch it with anyone else.
Oh, dude, come on. Like,
You know how much this means to me? I don't need a guy eating chips, talking nonsense. I don't need to be on a space.
no, I mean,
and you guys-
I make it
and you guys
mandatory.
telling me-
I make it mandatory that the family watches with me.
I don't need to be on a space and you guys talking about, oh, well, Jerry Rice had this many receptions in 92. I don't give a damn. Okay, I don't give a damn. I'm watching a game that's actually happening.
What about your wife?
She knows to leave me alone because I could say something that cannot be forgiven. That's what I'm telling you. No, everyone knows to stay out
I need
of
my lady.
way.
I need my lady right here, though. She done seen me at my worst.
Ezra doesn't care about Jerry Rice getting 1,000 yards at 40 years old, man. Ezra doesn't care.
Don't ever disrespect me.
Listen,
like that.
when we're playing against the Super Bowl, I just want to remind the Rams they are 4-8 at Levi Stadium. Okay, you guys are losers at that stadium. You play the Broncos, you'll be losers again. You better be rooting for the Patriots.
I hope we play you, Mike. I hope we play you. I had nothing more that I'd rather play than a non-starting quarterback in the Super Bowl.
Hey, hope
I
you
hope
get
you
to the
play.
Super Bowl.
Huh?
Hope you get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we are. It's tonight. It's tomorrow night.
Hey,
We
if we
are.
win, you're right. If we win, they might not show up. But I'm not probably even watching that JV game.
Hey, Ezra, famous words: worry about your fight before you don't make it to your fight.
Mike's not gonna make it to his. That was his problem. His coach cried like remember the Titans when the guy got hit by a truck. His coach cried after the winning game after like that guy got hit by a truck. And he knew that it was over when he saw that.
All right, we got a couple more left here in the news for the day. Some patent pending purse bid head updates. Just shout out to Jake Donovan on both of these. Reporting Callum Smith and David Morrell purse bid has been rescheduled for February 2nd. Where do we think this bout lands? Should we have put this on quick hits?
I just don't know. You know, I kind of wish PBC would just bid on it. Just bid on a fight. Maybe you'll get it for cheap and put it on one of your cards as like a co-feature. Just bid on the fight. See what people will bid on the fight.
Ezra,
That's
can
what
you
I would
take
do.
out a loan against the business? And can this be the first brunch boxing promotions event?
Let me tell you something. There every day when I think of brunch boxing, what it could be, and all these things, there's a little thing that in me that'd be like, can we promote a fight? Could we get to the point where we promote a fight? Because I feel like we understand boxing. And you know the one thing we would do if we promoted a fight, we wouldn't throw a live musical festival with it. That would be it's as much as you think that's not that crazy of an idea. It's almost like a revolutionary idea. We would not throw a live musical festival for it. I don't know where this fight lands. I have no idea. But I just tell you right now, it'll happen. I think.
Hey, between all the money you and Mike got, you guys should put a bid together for brunch boxing.
I just want to, honestly, I just want to brush. Right now, that sounds great. I love that. I just want brush boxing clip. That's it. I just want to scroll down Twitter and run it through one of my videos. That's it, because that's the only way I watch content is through the 2-minute videos. That's all I'm waiting for. So that's the next thing that if I'm going to invest anything, it will be some kind of clip farmer just clipping our stuff. That's it.
So you're gonna pay people to cheat for us?
No, I mean just clipping the thing.
Ezra, there was a whole article in Rolling Stone about some dude that just did this. You might want to read that.
Oh, he made a lot of money.
Also, more purse bid news. We briefly spoke about this in past weeks. Dimitri Bivol versus Michael Eifert, February 3rd purse bid. Is anyone going to bid on this? And is Bivol really going to fight Michael Eifert?
No one's bidding on this shit. You know what? Maybe Michael Eifert's German promoter might bid something on it, and maybe the bid will be so low that Bivol will drop the belt.
What happened?
Is this fight really gonna happen? Like, come on.
What happened with Bivol and Turkey? I mean, what happened here? I don't get what's happened here. Okay, the Turkey comes out and he says, "I'm allowing him to go fight." I say, "Best wishes, go fight in Russia." Right? Then obviously that money didn't come for that fight, and then nothing came there. Now he can't even get the Eifert fight. Like, how much money is Eifert demanding? Right? What's going on here? This guy that is turning down this biggest payday, which would be Benavidez, clear as day. Right now, he can't even make an Eifert fight. I don't get what's happening here, but that's very interesting. Seems like he's on the outs.
Yeah, who gives a shit, bro? This fight stinks. I don't care about the fight. If it happens, it happens. Let's move on.
Yeah. Everyone's favorite part of the show, EzRaw's report card and breakdown. Raymond Muay versus Andy Cruz tonight. If you want, I can pull up the rest of the card and go through those bouts as well.
I got it in front of me.
Ezra's always prepared now.
Yeah, I got it in front of me. But I'm just saying right now, I absolutely love Muay versus Andy Cruz. I love this fight. To me, it's the definition of a 50-50 fight. I think that these are two guys that have been building up. Right, Cruz a lot quicker than Muay, obviously, but two guys that are right there to be like, I want to introduce myself to the top of the weight class, and that's what this fight is. The one guy that wins this is for real, right? And there's a chance that both these guys are for real. And we just get the one hell of a fight tonight. The Muay fight that we saw last, I think people kind of like just ignored it. What happened? But I thought he looked great against Abdulayev. I can't. Abdulayev. I thought he looked great in that fight. I thought that the part that I really loved were his feet in that fight. His footwork and his movement and activity with his feet, but constantly switching positions, constantly just giving yourself 2 inches to where the guy's just going to come up just short, or just shifting just a little bit to the right, to where the guy has to reset from where you're at. I thought he was fantastic. I thought his offense and his defense flowed very nicely.
Is anyone that knows about giving someone 2 inches? It's you, Ezra.
What's your deal today? I don't get. Are we working blue today? I don't get what's going on. Did I not get the memo? We're gonna work blue today. All right. Well, I don't get what's going on here. But here we go with Andy Cruz. Right, Cruz, a guy with all the amateur experience, high level. Right, and I think that he gives less thought into what he does, not in a negative way. I mean, he doesn't have to second guess any of his actions. So I think if Muay fights the way he fought Farmer, where he just kind of stands in front of him, looks to land big shots, to be a bully, I think he'll lose this fight. And I think he'll lose this fight by a very wide margin, because Andy Cruz is just going to beat him to the punch, because he's not going to there's no second guess where he's throwing his punches, no second guess on his where he's landing the shots or anything like that.
Just say he's more fluid in his motion, Ezra.
Way more fluid. But it's the thought process of it. It's not just a fluid emotion, it's the thought process. He doesn't have to think about it. Second nature to him. Muay, if he gets to moving, I think that he'll hit Andy. He'll be able to hit Andy with shots and eliminate the offense not coming at his way. And I think he'll be very effective. And I think that Andy might have to go back into his boxing bag and moving around, because he's been trying to be more of a puncher, more of an entertaining style. And I think he's going to go to a style that maybe he hasn't done in a while. Maybe it's second nature to him, but he hasn't worked on it in a while. And I haven't seen at this fight. I'm taking the guy, to me, that has the more power, to me, the guy that has the more experience in a pro ring. And to me, the speed could be about equal. Right, I'm gonna take that guy. I'm gonna take Muay in this fight, but this is one of those things where, like, the talent in there, I just want to see what it looks like. The card, you got Cole versus Hart. Cole missed weight by 7 pounds. Did I lose Matt here? Okay.
He asked, "Do we have the fight?"
I don't. Apparently we do. That's what I'm hearing. Apparently we do. But
Because last night I was watching my guy YSM, shout out Jamil Parker, and Cole is still threatening to pull out of the fight if he has to give Hart money for missing weight, which is stupid.
Well, don't come in 7 pounds overweight. I think we'll get this fight. We got Madrimov on this card. You got Amari Jones on the card. You have Ronnie Alvarez, and you have Zaquin Moses. The undercard's not great. It's not great, but sometimes these fights deliver, right? And I think that now Cole with missing weight and and fighting hard, there's a little bit of heat there. We'll see how that plays out. But the main event is why you tune in, right? What was the main event that we just passed, which was Matias versus Smith? We said, hey, the main event you got to watch. It's a good fight. It's a very, very good fight. The undercard might deliver, and the undercard did deliver unexpectedly. It delivered. But this main event is what you tune in for. If you want to see boxing and you want to see something entertaining, and when you put two top guys in the ring, usually it delivers. I think this fight's going to deliver tonight.
Yeah. I'm also taking Murataya. I agree with you. I think he has too much experience at the pro level. I think he's too big, too strong for Andy Cruz. And while Cruz is fluid in his motion, sometimes he kind of reverts to that amateur style. I don't know. I think it's going to be very interesting to see this fight tonight. This is one of the best fights on the calendar. I can't wait for it, but I'm going with Murataya.
You going by knockout or decision?
I could see a late stoppage.
Okay. What do we have it written down as, Hugh? Because we're doing the competition. Let's make that official.
We haven't made that one yet. So you're going Murataya by decision, Matt?
I'm going decision. I am. I don't know, Matt. I thought Matt said late stop.
I'm going decision also.
Coward.
Okay.
Coward. How do you look yourself in the mirror?
Do we want to go through the rest of? Do we want to go through the rest of the card and make those picks? Or are we gonna hold off on? Are we just picking main events?
I can't pretend to care about this card.
Yeah, come on. It is what it is. Look at, pay attention to the card. It might deliver, but there's nothing in there that I want to pick.
All right.
Give us your best bets of the day.
All right. So I'm gonna mix this with boxing and football, and it's mostly gonna be football. 3-leg parlay, 3 legs. I apologize, Mike, but you already know you're out. You just haven't faced it yet. New England Patriots money line. Rams. Let's take the points plus 2.5. Raymond,
so you don't have confidence the Rams are going to win?
We are, but why take that risk? Raymond Moore.
No, hold on. No. The difference between the money line and the points is significant.
I'm telling you right now, we're going to win.
You don't believe the Rams are going to win?
I truly believe. But if someone's going to here's the thing.
This is on J-Roll.
Here's the thing, right?
You got this bad energy on your team.
Well, Floyd Mayweather said, right, when they said, oh, you're making Canelo cut, and he said Canelo offered that. He said, I didn't ask him to do that. But if Canelo's team's going to offer me a dumb deal like that, I'm going to take it. That's what I'm telling you right now. If Vegas is going to offer me a dumb deal like that, I'm going to take it. That's their mistake. Okay.
Their dumb deal is offering you plus money for the Rams to win.
Plus 2.5. And Raymond Moratayev by money line. That is plus 727. Plus 727. So once again, Patriots, that's a bye week for them. Rams plus 2.5. I'm giving you 2.5 points for a team that's for sure going to win. And Raymond Moratayev money line is plus 727, $727. And Matt, since we're on it, let's talk about the Rams. Since we're here, let's do it. Right? Let's talk about the Rams because I keep hearing that the Bears were the team of destiny. Well, how? We must have took destiny from them. Then.
Hold on, Ezra, before you go on the run, Ezra. Hold on, let me get my parlay in real quick, Ezra, before you go in. Because I got some real money these people can make. Okay?
Go ahead.
We're going to take Midgermoth by KO.
And you're right, he is mid.
We're going to take Morataya, money line. That's plus 190. Okay? That was minus 600. And we are going to take the Denver Broncos minus 5.5. That's plus 350. We got a plus 1423 parlay right here. Easy money. This would be bigger than the tax check you get back, folks. I'm with Ezra. I don't know who's going to win that game on the Rams in Seattle. I'm
What do you mean
shaky
you're
like
with me?
Ezra.
What do you mean you're with
I'm
me?
shaky like Ezra. Yesterday I was confident in the Rams, but now when I see a Rams fan not confident, it gets me a little shaky. Now that I know if a Rams fan's taking the plus points, I gets me shaky.
All right.
So
I allowed Mike to do his thing. Like I was, because you know.
Hold on. Before you go, Rand, I have a bet to give the people also.
Damn it.
I have absolutely nothing. Huey, let's move on. Let's move
No.
on.
I want to address this question from Sibby and before we move on from the
No,
card.
we're not moving on. We're not moving on. No. I'm sorry. No, that's sorry.
Ezra,
I apologize.
No, Ezra. I want you.
rant.
I want you to rant. But if Cole and Hart do end up fighting, what are your picks for that fight?
Cole, he's way 7 pounds heavier than the other guy. Damn it.
Hard.
All right,
Hard.
Ezra, you have 5 minutes.
Okay.
5 minutes is a lot of
5
time.
minutes.
2 minutes.
Come
2 minutes.
on,
Ezra, you have 2 minutes.
60
2 minutes.
seconds. 60
2 minutes.
seconds.
2 minutes.
Like 60
No,
seconds. Go.
You cut him off twice. Ezra, you have 2 minutes. Go.
I heard the Bears were the team of destiny, and then we took it from them. I heard that the Seahawks are the most talented team. Well, to me, we should have 2 W's against them. We for sure have 1. And Sam Darnold never plays well against us. The only time he played well against us is when the refs called the play off and allowed the play to continue for the other team. They said the Rams, stop playing. That was a incomplete pass. The other team, do whatever the hell you want. And they got points for it. That's the only reason that they won that game. That's the only reason we're here in this situation, that we're playing in Seattle. That's the only reason. Matthew Stafford is the MVP of this league. If Matthew Stafford was on a competent franchise his whole career, we would be like Brady who. That's the damn truth here. Matthew Stafford is the best quarterback in the playoffs right now. And don't get me started on the distance between Matthew Stafford and Stidham. Okay? Don't get me started on the distance between that, because that's as far as I live from where Matt lives. That's what I'm talking about, the distance there. Okay? We have a defense that's confident. We got we had a tune-up last week. We got a defense that's confident, and we have McVay that figured out the rhythm of the offense. He figured out that we need to run the ball. Okay? And you know the last time we played them, we didn't have Devontae Adams? Oh, is that a big deal? Is that a big deal not having Devontae Adams? Yeah, it seems like a big deal to me. People keep asking me. People keep stopping me on the street. What is this?
You don't be like Dan Raphael and give the credit where you heard that from.
People keep stopping me in the street and saying, Ezra, what is this game going to look like? I just can't imagine it. What is this game going to look like? Let me show you what this game is going to look like. This is what this game is going to look like. When we're dancing in the end zone, when we're dancing on the sideline, and when we're tackling and intercepting on Sam Darnold. That's what this game is going to look like.
Shut the fuck up, you little prick.
This is a celebration.
That was 2 minutes.
That's what this game's going to be. It's a celebration. This is the Super Bowl.
Thank you, Ezra.
This
Thank
is
you.
the Super Bowl.
Your time is up.
Mike, if we play
thank you. Your time is
Did
up.
you not hear Bob Arum
Time is
speak?
up.
That is Floyd Mayweather versus Berto if we play you, Mike, at the Super Bowl. Because the Super Bowl's this week. Now, we might play you in 2 weeks, a celebration game. Farewell for the season.
No one's even watching the JV game. Like the Rams in Seattle, or it's after the main event in the boxing. You know how they still have one more match? But everybody took off already.
This is us, Mike. This is us, Mike.
Matt,
Dancing in
you
the
have a
end
bet for
zone.
the
This is
people.
us, Mike.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Ezra has taken all the energy out of the show for me.
You want to go through your women's pound for pound list anymore?
Yeah, I'll go through my women's pound for pound list.
All right.
And that's where I leave. You guys have a good one.
Oh, Mike.
Oh man.
Mike, come on, man. Come on, man. I expected that from Ezra, not from you, Mike.
He actually left.
Insane. I gotta tell you though, Ezra. Nice moves, man.
I know.
Nice moves.
We get to
All
the
right.
pound list.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the pound for pound list.
Unless you have a bet for the people while you're pulling that up.
Nah, I don't have anything for the people. I'm gonna be honest. Got nothing. But yeah, let's get to this pound for pound list. I think you guys are not going to be satisfied with this pound for pound list as always.
That's good. That's a good energy to have before you even get to the list.
Because one thing I realized, people always find something to complain about, Ezra.
That's the truth. That is the truth. I agree with you on that.
They always find something to complain about.
Always an issue.
All right. Coming in at number 10, we have Alif Nur Turhan, who recently beat Beatrice Ferreira for a version of a lightweight championship. And I'll be honest with you, she should have been the women's fighter of the year.
You were pulling for her. You were pulling for her to get that.
She should have been the women's fighter of the year. I think she had an excellent year. So she is at number 10. Coming in at number 9, we have the WBC women's lightweight champion, Caroline Dubois, one of the best fighters in the world. I think I would like to see her fight Alicia Baumgartner and Nur Turhan. Let's hope that it happens.
Am I wrong to say that the buzz kind of fell off a little bit on Dubois? And why did that happen?
I think that happened because Ben Shalom and Boxer are not good at promoting.
Okay.
Ben Shalom decided to move his game to Saudi Arabia. Then they lost their foothold in the UK. Then they lost their TV deal with Sky. And then they lost some of their fighters. So hopefully, being that Caroline Dubois has now signed with MVP, hopefully she will now be able to realize her promise as one of the best fighters in the world and one of the biggest stars in women boxing. Okay, coming in at number 8, we have Lauren Price, who is a welterweight champion. Pretty damn good. She needs to fight Michaela Mayer. Coming in at number 7, we have the undisputed bantamweight champion, Shanika Johnson. She did a great job against Chicken Metcalf. And it's funny, some people kind of underrated Chicken Metcalf, and then Chicken Metcalf went out in her last fight and got a big victory against a fighter that she wasn't quote unquote supposed to beat. So that kind of makes the Shanika Johnson win look even that more impressive. Coming in at number 6, we have the unified super featherweight champion, Alicia Baumgardner. Haven't been impressed lately, but she's still good. She needs to fight somebody I care about pretty soon. Coming in at number 5, we have Michaela Mayer, who had a banner year last year, went up to 154, grabbed another belt. She's back down at 147, begging for a fight with Lauren Price for undisputed. So let's see if we can make that happen. Coming in at number 4, we have Chantel Cameron, one of the best fighters in the world. The only person to beat Katie Taylor. So shout out to Chantel Cameron.
She's a fantastic fighter.
Yeah, she's at number 4. Coming in at number 3, the aforementioned Katie Taylor. And this is probably going to be her last time on the pound for pound list.
Number 3. Wow. Okay.
Because it's looking like she may not be long for boxing, So
I'm starting to see why you thought people would have a problem with this list. I'm starting to see it.
Coming in at number 2, we have the sweet poison herself, Gabriela Fundora, the undisputed the undisputed flyweight champion. Hopefully she moves to Superfly pretty soon. I want to see her against Mizuka Hirota, and I also want to see her against like Jasmine Ortega, women of that nature. But right now she's at number 2. I was not impressed with her level of opposition last year. I thought she took a step back in opposition and in activity. I'm hoping she can pick up the activity and the opposition this year. And coming in at number 1, the best fighter in the world. She's been the best fighter in the world since she turned pro. I'm talking about two-time Olympic gold medalist, a four-time undisputed champion, Claressa Shields. Number one in the hearts and minds of the boxing public. And that is the Brunch Boxing Top 10 Women's Pound for Pound list.
I don't. It's not a bad list at all. There's a lot of good fighters, well deserving. But come on, I mean, Katie Taylor is number 1 or 2. And I get having Shields over her, then that's fine. But she should be 2. Katie Taylor's been, she's been dominating boxing for a while now. I mean, she has
but fighting one fight a year.
What is that? I don't understand.
And also she had the really close fight the second time with
does that matter?
Hold on. Serrano, who's not that good. Serrano, who's not even top 10 anymore, by the way.
Yeah, okay. But here's the thing, right? This is one of the pet peeves I have is the close fights.
You have pet peeves?
We treat them all the same, as if if you've had a close fight with a guy that's no good and a close fight versus a world champion, an elite fighter, and they're all the same. It's like I don't get that. If you beat a very good fighter and it's a close fight, like if you beat, and I always use this example, if someone gets a close win off Terrence Crawford, who gives a damn? They beat Terrence Crawford. I don't get that.
Let me ask you a question.
I think we use these
the
criticism.
best welterweight in the world in women's boxing?
I don't know. Give me the list of names in there. Who's the list of names?
Lauren Price, Michaela Mayer.
Mayer is.
Okay. Could Michaela Mayer move up to 175 and give Claressa Shields a close fight?
I don't know. You know what? A little part of me feels like maybe.
No, the answer is no.
A little part of me feels like maybe. I think that women's boxing is different than men's boxing, and I do think that the women's can move up and be effective. Yeah, I think Michaela Mayer could beat a lot of the girls that Claressa beats in that weight. I think the Michaela Mayers could beat a lot of them. I honestly do. I think the weight is less important in women's boxing because the power is not the same. Okay, and I think that skill has and guess
what? Claressa Shields is more skilled.
She is. I'm saying Claressa Shields could beat her, but I'm not saying I don't know that Michaela Mayer.
It'll be close, bro.
I think Michaela Mayer could give her a tougher fight than most of these girls give Claressa Shields a fight. I do think that. I do think that. You know what I mean? Like the power's not there for it to be like, oh, you can't jump up in weight classes. Oh, you definitely can.
Okay. Is that all?
For that, yes. We got anything else to talk about?
Yeah, quick hits here.
All right, let's do quick hits.
So here we go. Xander Zayas and Abbas Barao to air on Top Rank Classics channel for free is the key part of that. EzRaw, is this a win for boxing?
Yes, that is a win for boxing. Like I said, it's a win for the fans, at least. We get to watch that fight, and then on the same day, we get to watch Shakur versus Teal, right? Like, that's great. That's fantastic. That's a fantastic day of boxing. So I think that's I think that's really great. Like I said, we got wondering where Top Rank's TV deal is. It is not looking good. That right there is something to pay attention to as far as like the landscape of boxing. But for that one night only, we got a fight for free. It's a very good fight and a very important fight. That to me cannot go understated.
Matt, you have anything to add on that?
What a great night of boxing. I'm so glad that it's not pay-per-view and that we all, like literally millions of people get to watch it. This is going to be the most watched Xander Zayas fight of all time.
I think that's fair to say.
I think that's a good chance.
Next up, Tenshin Nasukawa and Juan Estrada WBC Eliminator is being eyed for April in Tokyo. Is this a good move?
You know, Tenshin's in a weird spot, right? They were moving him quick. They were moving him very quick, and he's a big name and all those things. But he came up short against Inoue's brother, and it definitely looked like levels to the game. Now they're kind of like in a weird spot where he's the kind of guy that wants to prove he's a legit fighter. He's not trying to take a back step. He's not trying to fight guys that aren't any good to build himself up. He really thinks I'm a legit fighter. He's got a big name. Estrada is on the backside of his career, but he could still go. He could definitely still go. And so Tenji's like in this weird spot where he has to fight legit guys and because of his name and because of what he wants to prove. But he might take another L there. I definitely want to see it. I'm definitely interested in it. It's just a really weird spot to be in your career.
Yeah, it's a good fight, good bump. Not sure Tension wins that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. And I'm not sure that's the best thing for his career.
All right. What are your thoughts on Nonito Daenerys being set to return in March against Riku Masuda?
Man,
He looked decent last fight, right? So I mean,
he looked great his last fight. I thought he won.
So I have no problem with him continuing his career and fighting. I think Daenerys is he's a bad man. He's got talent. He's got power. I have no problem with it.
Train rolls on.
All right, and then lastly, former WBO super featherweight champion Jamel Herring has been ordered to appear at court following a felony indictment by the Warren County Court on 4 counts of violating a protection order. What are your thoughts on this, if you have any?
Leave these women alone, please. Like fighters and men in general, please leave these women alone. When it's over, it is over. You have had your turn. It's time to turn her back over to the world. Let her go do her thing. You know, he commented on us, reported it. Oh, when the truth comes out, my lawyer's gonna have a field day. Bro, leave it alone. Like, stop. Like, men, you have to stop being in denial. Stop being in denial. Not everyone is out to get you. All of these women are not out to get you. It's not the first time that he's had these issues with different women. You know, he was convicted of domestic violence with his first wife. Okay, now you ran into issues with your next wife, and now you're violating protection orders. Bro, leave it alone. Please, fellas, leave these women alone.
Agreed. Let's keep it moving.
All right, that's the end of the show. Matt, Matt or Ezra, what do you have for the people here to look forward to this weekend? If there's going to be a post show, any content you have coming up, otherwise send them home.
We'll do a post show tonight, right, Matt?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if it warrants it.
I think I didn't get to it last week. I was really disappointed in myself, but this week I will. Weekend recap, weekend wrap up will be this weekend. Will be tomorrow, and that's what I got right now. That's what we have right now.
Yeah, just want to give some shout outs. Shout out to Osama, 4040 Vision Podcast. My episode is up on Spotify. I was a guest on that podcast. It is finally up on Spotify for all you guys to listen to and enjoy, where I go through the genesis of brunch boxing, our mission in boxing, and what you have to look forward to. Shout out to Anthony.
When am I going to be invited on a podcast? I want to do a long form interview where we talk about my life. Where's my shine at? I'm just curious.
Everyone knows your life, EzRaw. Your daddy saved you from being a bum, handed you the business. You got married. You got married to a woman you don't deserve. You have a kid, and you're living a good life.
Let me tell you what the problem is, right? We put down a success story. We do. We want, like, he's got to go through hell to do all these things. And that, I think that's shameful. I think that my story is a story that should be celebrated and praised. I got to be honest with you. But yet we want to knock it down because I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I grew up in the suburbs. I apologize. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's like I don't get it. I really don't get it.
And as a reminder here, since the kind of transition to that, be sure to hit the Cash App, support Matt, support the show.
Yeah, get me out of the lines of the soup kitchen before I end up seeing Bob Arum and Al Heyman in there.
It might be a good place to get some good interviews.
Hit the Cash App, support us directly. Shout out to JR Bell, shout out to Sibby, shout out to Android Uppercut, shout out to Joe Pacone. Shout out to my guy Paul, PG Sports, man. Y'all gotta go support PG Sports. They got some good fighters. Make sure you go support my man Paul Garino from PG Sports. Shout out to Long Live Los. Shout out to Juice Digital Co. Shout out to Lamond. Shout out to the Blunts and Boxing. Cam J. Shout out to salute to Cam J. Go support his YouTube channel. He got some good stuff every week. So shout out to Cam J. iDrum, Larry Liston, obviously the COO Mike, and of course, Brick Squad. You fucking hater. Shout out to you. Shout out to Cal. Shout out to Emily. We love hearing Emily. Shout out to Emily. Let's see. Shout out
I
to my
gotta be
man
honest
Money
with you.
Maker Mitch, the Parlay King.
Brick
Shout out
Squad,
to Martin.
Brick Squad might
Shout out
win
to
Listener of the Year.
Shout out to Young One of One, who Ezra for some reason thought
I thought that was Lamont Roach.
Lamont Roach, and now he knows it's not Lamont Roach. So shout out to him. And of course, shout out to the Brunch Boxing Listener of the Year, Rose Buds Ice Cream, future sponsor of Brunch Boxing. Best
Matt,
rappers ever.
You can now order Rosebud's ice cream in New York on Postmates, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's the other one? What's not Postmates? What's the
Grubhub?
other one?
Grubhub?
Uber
Grub.
Eats.
Grubhub.
Well, can we do this? I gotta tell him if I can do this. I don't know if I can do where I'm at, but can you order that and then do a live review on the next week's show?
Hey, listen. If my guy Rosebuds want to send out some ice cream, I will do a live review of Rosebud's ice cream.
Great.
But if he sends a lot of ice cream, I will do a live mukbang on Brunch Boxing.
No one's asking for that.
And this time it'll be recorded, so it actually
No,
will be.
I promise
you,
if that happens, it'll be off camera. I promise you.
I will do a live Rosebuds ice cream mukbang on Brunch Boxing. But shout out to Rosebud Ice Cream. Shout out to my man Trill.
But I have to put that on the OnlyFans.
Yeah. This week, we're gonna have some coverage on the Shakur Teo fight that's gonna be happening on Saturday at Madison Square Garden. We are also going to be. I got some news to drop for you guys. Actually, I might have some boxing news.
Let's go.
Some boxing news and notes that I'm going to drop. Yeah, I'm going to be flooding your timeline with boxing news. Oh, one thing that wasn't on the list, no one's talked about it but Brunch Boxing on the Brunch Boxing website. I didn't even bother posting it on Twitter. The B sample for Janabek Alim Kanuli has come back positive for meldonium also. So we'll see where that case goes. But yeah, the B sample was confirmed as positive for meldonium.
Let's just not jump. All I ask is we not jump to conclusions. That's the only thing I ask is we do not jump to conclusions on that.
All right, let me ask you a question. So, pretend like you're throwing Janabek some bail. What's the possible excuse?
Contaminated supplement, always. 100% contaminated supplement.
With meldonium.
Bro, I had meldonium in my soup the other day.
You didn't, because it's not available in the U.S.
Yeah, bro, come on. I like it. You know, hey, I'm gonna say I'm like Tone. I like it foreign, but I don't know if I like Tone. I'm not sure. I like it.
Matt, end the show, Matt.
Oh my God.
I'm not sure.
But hold up. From Sibby, do we get any Royal Rumble coverage next week from either of you?
Yes, we do. And I'll pick a winner. But yeah, go support all the Brunch Boxing platforms. Go subscribe on Spotify, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, subscribe on YouTube. Go follow us on Instagram and on X/Twitter. And of course, as always, feel free to hit the Cash App, support directly, support independent journalism. Like I said, this is little mom and pop shop. We do this without sponsorship. We do this for the people, by the people. We are the people's platform. We are Brunch Boxing. This has been another edition of Brunch Boxing. He is our COO, the Mexican Al Heyman Mike. He is our host, the John Madden of Boxing, EzRaw Boxing, Go Rams. He is the Master Marionette, the super producer, Huey P. I am Matt. We are Brunch Boxing, and we are out.